All right, so we're live now. Um, Let me just go here for a second. Hi, everybody. So welcome to What Up Baltimore. My name is Lady J. This is a kind of different topic that we're going to be doing tonight. I got Miss Zalika Bazemore here. I got Miss Angela over here, and we're going to be talking about human sex trafficking. You know, I didn't do the intro with the music and all that kind of stuff because this is a really serious topic. I just want to kind of get into it. We have two experts here. We got my long time friend, Dr. Wendell. He's on here, and he's a therapist, clinician. So I had to bring him on because I don't have any expertise and I stay in my lane. So I brought him on. Miss Angela has her therapist here as well. Who's up in the corner. So we got some experts here. Zalika is here because you actually work on that.
We actually are working on that for, the Baltimore Republicans are working on legislation that would really drive home to the heart of this issue.
Right.
And we are just looking at what Mosby is doing in terms of our state attorney here in Baltimore City.
Yeah.
And we're going to talk about some of those things tonight.
Right. So we have people here, y'all. I'm just here hosting the show because I don't know a lot about it. So I'm going to defer to Ms. Bazemore and to the experts. But Angela is going to talk to us about her story, and we're going to give her the floor to talk. But I want to start off by talking about human sex trafficking because I live in Baltimore, and people don't really talk about it, but it's actually going on in our city. It's going on in a lot of our cities. I mean, it's going on everywhere where women, not just women, children, are being abducted and not seen. Sometimes they never turn up. And so the thing about it that's crazy is that we don't really talk about it like that.
Isn't that something?
We don't even really discuss it. We talk about all the other stuff, but it's not up there on the top 10.
And it should be. Because we're talking about especially the youngest. I'm talking about 10-year-olds, 11-year-olds, 12-year-olds being trafficked. It's amazing that the political parties, they always talk about the sex trafficking at the border.
At the border, right.
At the border.
Exactly.
But they're not actually even talking about it. It's almost like a taboo to talk about what is going on here in our own country when it comes to children, sex trafficking, women, men. I tell you, it's all across the board.
Yeah.
And we have got to start talking about solutions because it's a real serious issue. And I'm glad that you have a therapist here because I got to tell you that when even Mosby, our state attorney, talks about, she's not going to prosecute any prostitution. Any prostitution in the city. It's almost as if they want to legalize it. But she wants to focus on apprehending the so-called pimps, she called it. I mean, that's something they were calling it back in the days, okay? But this is much more sophisticated, people. And people have to understand just how sophisticated this is. Children are being kidnapped, taken to other states outside where none of their relatives ever hear from them. Or in that desperate moment, that child or that young person may get a slight window of opportunity to try to reach out and call someone in their family to let them know what the situation that they're in. And I got to tell you, some children, even when they do the Amber Alerts, you hear how Merlin does the Amber Alerts, but we rarely hear whether that child or that person was actually recovered, whether they ended up where they're back with their families and whatnot. And I really think that this topic it should not be like it's taboo, like we can't talk about it. Because it's a serious issue. It destroys not just that person that's been captured or kidnapped, but it destroys the entire family. It destroys when it's a young person, a young woman in her 20s, and she's kidnapped and taken to another state. It affects even when they have children, because their children go for months or years not knowing where their mother or not knowing where their loved one is. So it's, I thank you, Lady J, for even having us on to talk about this really serious issue.
Bring it to the forefront, because I think people don't really talk about it until it hits their house, and that's when everybody wants to talk about it. They want to protest, they want to rally, do this, rah, rah, rah. But we got to talk about it before it hits anybody's house.
Absolutely.
So Angela, tell us what you came, actually Angela called me, and so, I told her, let's do the show tonight. I had another show I was doing, but I said, let's talk about this tonight. She was sharing some stuff with me. So I'm going to turn it over to her and let her tell you what she wants to tell you.
Hello, everyone out there. My name is Angela Valentine Johnson. I am a product of rape, but I just want to say this to you guys. Sex trafficking is real. It has hit home with me personally. Okay, brainwashing is real. Abuse is real. Mental illness is real. And abusers isolate you women and your children from your family. Oh, I love you, baby. But if I love you, I'm not going to put you in a box. Love does not hurt. Love is kind, mild, meek, humble, and protective. Okay? I have to use my choice of words right now for the privacy of someone. But it hurts so bad that I have to identify that team, that person has been raped over and over and over and over again. Like I said in the beginning, I am a product of rape. Okay, that's a pain, something you can never forget. So I can imagine how that young lady felt, how a young girl would feel when someone sodomizes you. And if you don't know what the word sodomize mean, fumbling, fondling, touching you in your areas where a man or a woman's finger is not only men that's pervert, there are perverted women too with those spirits. So I want you to be aware, men and women, in your home, when you're sitting around, and I'm going to get raw. Is it okay, Lady J? I'm going to get raw. Men, when you're sitting around drinking your beer, smoking your blunts, and your buddies come over, your daughter walk through with a t-shirt on, and even women too. Men, you don't know what's going through their minds under the influence. Women, even when you have your man over, excuse me, kids, lock him out the room. You do what you do. How you know he not plotting and planning on your daughter? See, I'm a realist. I know about men and women. I have 12 children. I know what will happen. I know how men can get in your head and in your mind. If you're not strong enough to love yourself first, love God, then yourself, you're going to get lost in the sauce, because guess what? They don't care about nobody. And once they alienate you from your family and brainwash you, you're lost. You're gone. How do I know? From experience. It has never happened to me, being taken away to a cult, away from my family. But I have always listened and was sharp enough to detect. Like right now, if you are a perverted man or woman, I can sense you a mile away. And you're going to have to get away from me. And that's what I mean. God forgives us all. But like I say, and I'm going to say it again, I am an evangelist today. Yeah, I've had a past. Yes, I've been promiscuous, but I ain't raped nobody's child. I ain't hurt nobody's child. None of that stuff. Sex trafficking is real. It has touched home with me. And I have to respect this person's privacy. But the mother beast in me wanted to go a whole different route. But guess what? I trust God today, and He gonna take care of this. You understand? Because December the 16th, 1978, I was raped over and over. The man ejaculated all over me. It was my little brother's father for 2.5 hours. He said, B, your mother ain't gonna let you in the house. You ain't nothing but a flea bag dog. You wanted this anyway. I cried. I was upset. And then I went to go try to tell my mother. My mother was laying on her bed. She had just had my little brother 8 days prior. And he hit me. I seen cartoon stars. And then I took a carving knife and I went to him. It's all going to the sea of forgiveness. So who one's out there? Yes, he's dead in his grave. Yes, he is. It's in the sea of forgiveness. It happened again in my family. It's gone to the sea of forgiveness. So I want you guys to pay attention to your young daughters, your sons, because they sell men too and sell babies. So when you put on your lashes, your nails, your booty shorts, drinking, thinking you all suave and cool, guess what? Somebody got an eye on you trying to make some money off of your child or you or whatever. And then we got to get raw with physical abuse and mental abuse and domestic violence. Been there, done that. Experience is my best teacher. Experience. I don't compete with King Heron, Pillow Talk, or the enemy. If you ask me for my advice, I'm gonna give it to you. But guess what? If you don't take heed, that's on you. I gotta save myself and mine. I got 7 daughters who are fighters. You understand? So I'm here to let you know right now. My therapist is on this line, Sarah. I talks to her every other day. I call her Aunt Sarah. And sometimes I say, Aunt Sarah, you know, I feel like blah, 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 blah. And she'll say, Angela, that's not you. Calm down. I'm an evangelist. Yes, I am. I feed the hungry. I have an organization that I'm trying to bring out, the Billionaire Girls Hyphenated Women's Club, so we can help each other, help other women to teach them about integrity, self-worth. A man will bring you down, and for men out there, a woman will bring you down. If you allow a man to get in your spirit and turn you from your parents, something is wrong with you. He don't love you. He's trying to alienate you from your parents and your family. Been there, done that.
Now let me ask you this, because we're going to respect your family's privacy, right. But you said that right now you're dealing with that situation of somebody that was involved in sex trafficking.
Right.
Mm-hmm. Can you, we don't want to know who the person is, but what are some of the symptoms that you see, like the effects that's happened to this person?
Very paranoid, unsafe, just not themselves, and other things I do not want to discuss.
Right. Okay. And how long were they in the involved?
Almost a year.
Almost a year.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And you didn't know about it, right? Mm-mm. You did not know about it. Because I think when I just met you like a few weeks ago, we were talking about it.
Right.
Yeah.
And Baltimore City.
May I?
Go ahead, Donnie.
Come on.
And I'm glad that your therapist is here.
Right.
The picture that you're describing.
Yes.
It's actually broader than you are even describing.
What do you say?
That is bigger than even what you're describing now.
He said it's bigger than what you described.
Oh, yes.
This is an national.
Right.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yes.
Now understand, the girls that are being trafficked and the young men, they are being groomed.
Yes.
A very early age.
Exactly.
music that we listen to, the names we had. Lady J had a show about the N word,
Right.
and that spilled over to women and girls allowing men to call them bees and hoes. These are grooming words. So that even now, when girls talk to each other, they can walk up to each other and comfortably say, "What's up, B?"
Right.
So when some guy is on a corner and he does not have that much work to put, understand, because we're always seeking something outside of ourselves.
Right.
There is something that the pimp, and I don't have a better word for him right now. There is something that the pimp connects with in you. You know, we can smell you. Understand, as a man, we can smell you.
Wow. Did y'all hear that?
We can smell your lack of confidence,
There you go.
Okay.
smell your low self-esteem. We can smell it. And I would not slap you except I know that I can get away.
Hello.
Wow.
I, you know, take Charlene for example. I could haul off and hit Charlene, but I better know I got.
That's like me, Charlene. You like me. You
Don't
make
even try,
it
doctor.
knock the hell out.
Go ahead, you gonna
even
be too
thought about it.
Sarah, tell the doctor he going down. If
Look,
you come for me,
look,
going
look.
down.
And I managed professional boxers, was the first female in the country to be certified and managed, and even was the chief second. So I'll play chess on you before you even realize you on the ground. Okay?
I will teach
Donald Trump
you.
told me that. Donald
I
Trump
will
said,
beat you.
them instructions you gave baseball in that corner. Congratulations,
Yes.
y'all won that bill.
But
Yes.
listen, doctor, check this out. Everything you said is true.
Absolutely.
But let me say this, ladies and gentlemen. If you'd have grew up in a household with a mother and father and know what love is all about and guidance of a man, you would know how a man is supposed to treat you.
Absolutely.
That's it. That's
Absolutely.
all. The morals, the principles,
Absolutely.
all of that. Because where I come from, I was raised by a village. A great grandma, a great grandpa, a auntie, a uncle, a mother, father, and even a teacher's with my ass. Okay. So guess what? I was scared to death of my father.
Yeah, my father was with me one time. That was it in my entire life.
Listen, out there, I don't know who liked it.
May I share something with you? And I like for the therapist to back me up.
Okay.
In looking at you now, and having come through what you've come through,
Absolutely.
you have not forgiven yourself.
I have not forgiven myself.
Let me tell you why I say that. I say you've forgiven yourself.
I've forgiven myself.
Well, understand, when I say you haven't forgiven yourself, you have not, when you fully have forgiven yourself, you would take the steps necessary to build yourself up. You still speak you still speak angry. Maybe you're not.
That's just Angela. That's just Angela.
Doctor, let me just say that. I got 12 kids.
12 children.
Let me tell you
45 grandchildren.
Let me tell you something, doctor.
45 grandchildren.
Sarah speaking like that.
That's why she speak like that.
Listen, my father was in the Air Force.
Okay.
My first husband was a Navy SEAL.
Okay.
And the second husband was a bank robber. So guess what? It is what it is. Sarah, am I good?
Honey.
Am I good,
I think
Sarah?
she done forgiven herself, Doc.
Ask me, Sarah. Talk to me, Sarah.
Go ahead, Sarah. Tell us.
Can I
get in on this? Where you, Sarah?
Come on, Auntie Sarah.
Sarah, I need you to
You need some help, Sarah.
Oh my goodness.
Sarah.
I'm here.
All right.
Come on, Sarah. Give us your perspective about Miss Angela. Miss Angela.
You okay over there, Angie?
Oh,
good.
geez.
Good.
I'm looking on the doctor. No,
I can't, I'm having a hard time hearing you guys.
Go ahead, Sarah. We need you to speak. He feels that I am angry and I have not forgiven myself because my voice has escalated. Sir, when that nigga got dead
I
and
think
the ground, I was good. Because you couldn't hurt nobody else. Go ahead, Sarah.
we are a work in progress. We've come a long way. We have come so far.
Wow, that's beautiful.
And we still have work to do. But I think no matter where you are in your life, you're constantly learning who you are and learning about yourself. And so I think this is one of those processes where, you work to forgive, but you also continue to grow. And so I could say we're a work in progress, and it might be a mix of both depending on where we are and what specifically we're working on.
Mm-hmm.
So I think I wouldn't agree or disagree, other than to say I think we're constantly, working on self and learning about who we are in this moment and how we respond to this
Right.
situation. And are we proud of our response? Sometimes more than others. And, we take it as a learning experience, and how can we propel forward and take our knowledge and share it with everybody else, kind of like what we're doing tonight.
And then, Angela, you in your situation, the person that got your daughter involved in that, was that somebody that she knew or not?
You hear what you just said? Yeah.
It was somebody that they knew.
Yeah.
Okay.
We went.
All right, listen. Check this out. I want to come back to the doctor, then I'm gonna answer your question. Doctor, you can always forgive, but you never forget nothing.
Here is where we are. Thank you for
Bingo.
saying. Thank you.
You got a degree now. Don't let me whip it out on you, doctor.
Understand.
And I'm going back for psychology.
Let me share this with you.
What?
In order to not forget, in order to not allow yourself to forget, a certain part of you has to stay back there for what you don't forget.
No. Stop. Listen to me. I have 12 children, 7 beautiful daughters, 5 handsome sons, and 5 godsons. So guess what? I'm not going to sit up here and say I was a perfect mother. I've had my trials and my tribulations, but I tell you what, I took care of them coochies and them private parts, and I could smell a pervert a mile away. So guess what? What you do? No. Let me finish, please. Let me talk, please. The way I operate is totally different. I'm unique. Let's get that straight. First of all, I am very unique. I know what to do and not to do. At 17, 14 and a half, I was confronted by a couple telling me in Capitol Heights, Maryland, come on and go with us. You can hang with this man. It was an old lady and old man that tried to win me over, and you just have sex and they give you $200, $300. I said, take me to 7-Eleven. I got 7-Eleven and ran my ass home. Okay? Let me tell you. Let me say this to you, doctor. You got your way. I don't know if it's from books or experience, but my best teacher is experience. And I can only share with you my experiences. Okay? If I want to feel the way I feel, that's my right. Like I tell you again, I can forgive, but I will never forget nothing that has happened. They call me the elephant. I can tell you at 1 year old, I used to swing on the screen door. Like I said from the beginning, I am a product of rape. So you read between the lines. but I have a father that took damn good care of me. That's it, and that's all I need to say. I want to end the conversation. I'm getting a little worked up. I want to get teary. Okay, because this pain, I'm always endure pain. I got sons out here that's trying to work hard every day, make a living. I got grandbabies, granddaughters. I don't want them caught up in no web and no mess. Anytime a man allow another man to touch his own flesh and blood's mother of his damn children, he ain't worth living. He's scum. And that's it, and that's all. Ladies, I can't talk.
No. Relax.
Yeah.
I'm tired.
Okay, I know. This is a really
a really deep subject.
Deep subject. That's why I just wanted to jump into it, and we're going to jump out of it because we're going to we're going to end it, y'all. We're going to end it on that note because it is a touchy subject, and she got her own situation going on. And so, what I'm going to ask everybody to do, excuse me, is to pray for Miss Angela, her family. Matter of fact, when we go off of the live, I'm gonna have prayer with them. You know, me and Zalika, we're gonna have prayer with her before she goes. You do have a covering. We talked about that today.
Yeah.
You do have people around you.
Thank
like
you.
I met you, I'm around you now.
Yes.
Yeah,
okay?
me too.
You got Zalika. You got your therapist. I'm sure you got other people.
Pastor Janet Jefferson,
Right.
Shavonda Evans, Sharice Davenport, Karen Abrams of Weave Express. I'm surrounded today. Let's get this straight. I ain't always been perfect. Okay.
But none of us have.
None of us have.
Amen. Wait a minute now. I'm an evangelist today. But guess what? I give back. Because guess what? When you've been through if you've been where I've been with substance abuse, claiming to have mental illness, if you don't give it back, you're going to lose it. And that's what I'm here for today.
Can I share one more thing with you?
Sure.
You's a find somebody too.
Oh, stop flirting, Chad. I got an organization,
the
Billionaire Girls Women's
Club.
Club.org. Send us a donation.
There you go.
$ Big Angie 12. Hey.
I tell you what,
I want to talk about
Wait a
a
minute,
couple of things
I'll do.
coming up.
Hold on 1 second. You want to say, go ahead, Doc.
If you listen to my program tomorrow,
Okay.
ask me a question.
Yes.
I will send you a donation.
Okay.
Fair enough.
Go ahead.
Send me your information.
Okay. We want to listen. Yes. So everybody that's tuning in, we have our Facebook social media as well, tuning in to Lady J and What's Up Baltimore. But really, really deep discussion. And God just brought me right into my new sister, Angela's life. We're doing a lot of amazing things together. And I want everyone to know to support because she is so good with her nieces and nephews and grandchildren. You know, just over the weekend, just over the weekend, her little 10-year-old and 9-year-old niece and nephew started their own business. It's called the Icy Trap.
Cool.
And so Z-Bay behind the scenes promotions promoted them all weekend. You can catch that live on Facebook. And I mean, they had so many people from the Peakness coming up and supporting we bought hats. The children made the hats and they had the Italian ice with their own street corn. So she's doing some amazing things. Another thing that's happening is on June the 25th, it's a Friday. We're asking everyone to come out and support a young woman that has founded an organization called POPS, Parents of Purpose. Parents of Purpose. It's an organization where her being a mother of 3, wants to give back to other young mothers by actually acknowledge them, even giving them a reward bag. So many times when children are born and mothers carry that child for 9 months, it's all about the child.
Right.
You know, you have the baby showers for the child, you have the christening for the children. Everything is all about the children. She felt the need that she wanted to create an entity where mothers can be pampered, mothers can she wanted to give away gift bags to those mothers, because a lot of times mothers feel overwhelmed. And I know, but I know large portion of our audience, we've been on a 1 year and 3 months journey throughout the whole world. But I gotta tell you, mothers that have taken off their jobs to stay home, to educate their children, to help them and tutoring them through e-learning. I've had parents to reach out to me on a daily basis because we're lobbying for a better board of education and public schools here in Baltimore City. So that event is going to be on the 25th. Look for Lady J. She's going to have a flyer put out, and we do need donations to help to help Pop.
Right.
Parents
Pop power.
of parents of purpose.
Power.
Okay. So I just want to thank you all. And Angela, thank you so much, because that was very unselfish of you to be able to share with the audience, that yes, sex trafficking is very, very real. And as the doctor stated, it's bigger than we even can imagine, because it's a system. Oh, let me say it. It's a system. Even young people are being sold, not just trafficked, but sold, kidnapped and sold. Children are being sold. So we have to really be looking at legislation, and that's where I come in, and our organization coming in, Baltimore City Republican Central Committee. We have a grassroots subcommittee that I chair, and we need to build better legislative laws where it comes to sex trafficking. And we do need to grab our young people from the snares of the streets. We must do that.
Excuse me.
Go ahead.
To the audience, and then I'm gonna be quiet because they always say I got big mouth. But listen, 99.9% of the time, the abuser, the rapist, the pimp is someone that we know that has one trust with the family.
Wow. Yes.
Don't ask. Listen, mothers and fathers, I'm just asking you to watch your children and watch your friends and even family members. Yes. It is what it is. And need I say?
And let me just say something. I've been very open I'm always open about me, but I was actually, I don't call it, and I said this on the show last night, that I don't call it, what do they call it? Molestation.
Right.
I call it rape.
It's rape.
It's rape.
Right.
And so
rape is rape.
Yeah, I went through that from age 11 to 14.
Right.
And you're right. It's normally by somebody that
has won the trust of the family.
Right.
And will threaten you, tell you you're gonna kill me. Yeah. Let me tell you, girls, if you live to get away, go to the nearest phone, family member, knife, stab him, do whatever. You're gonna get away. Because now they got something what you call DNA. Because see, back in the day, they used to push it under the rug or put it up on the shelf. But see, I had a big mouth. I took care of mine.
Yeah, I was 13 and that happened to me over a cousin's house that I had never met, but she had 5 children, all of them living up under the same household. And my biological mother, I happened to have just met her at 13.
Oh, wow.
Didn't even realize. I thought my great aunt and uncle were my parents.
Right.
Found out that I had another mom that was from Baltimore City. We grew up, my brother and I grew up in DC. So I got to tell you, she trusted because she left my sister there, which I had just met also, for the summer.
Wow.
And I was raped. The first 2 days that I was in the household at just turned 13. Thank God, no penetration. I was still a virgin. But guess what I did? The first chance I got, I ran to a phone booth, called my mom, who I consider to be my mom and dad, and said, I need to come home, and I want you to take my new sister too. Because I mean, seriously.
Yeah.
And we were gone. Moms came and got us. Mom and dad came and got us. And even allowed my newfound sister to live with us as well. So children, young people, you need to speak up, speak out. Don't have a fear of speaking up, because God will always have that one person there for you that you already know in your heart and mind you can go to. I don't care if it's a mother, a father. I don't care if you go tell your mother and she's not listening to you. There is someone else that you know that you need to reach out to and speak out. Be vocal.
Right.
Talk about it.
And I want to say this to mothers. If your child is acting strange, these are some of the signs.
Absolutely.
And bedwetting or afraid. I have another close friend. The man raped her 3 children. And she knows her daughter wearing jackets.
Oh, yeah.
Don't want to take a bath because she was unsafe. So I'm going to tell you, mothers, if your child come to you, I don't care if he give you the best loving in America. If you don't have enough self-worth and self-love for your own child, then I don't have no respect for you. And whether you like it or not, this is what you're going to get, Angela. Because guess what? Been there, done that. Do you understand me?
Mothers,
don't no man come before mine.
And fathers, because we have some single fathers out here.
And guess what, fathers?
Believe what your child is telling you.
And all this auntie and uncle, Uncle Ray, Uncle Bob, Auntie Missy. You never know what goes on.
Don't bring them in your home.
Don't bring them in your home. Person's mind.
Right.
You never know.
Yeah, and I think it comes down to, like you said, you have to know your children.
Right.
You got to spend time with them.
Right.
And you got to ask questions.
Right.
And in defense of my parents just didn't know, you know, and I was very good at covering up.
Right.
From age 11 to 14, I was very good at covering up. Even though I think that there were I know that there were some signs, because I do remember my mother would get on me sometimes about, you know, I would just be acting out for no reason.
Right. Oh, but yeah, that's another sign. Right.
You know, she didn't, because I have to say, my mother was super protective. Like, she had a laser eye on us. Right. But when you're around people that you trust,
right, absolutely.
You know, you kind of lean back like, oh, they good. Right. But what I want to say to people, like these ladies have said, even if you're in that situation right now, find somebody to talk to. Now, the great thing is that there are numbers that you can call.
Absolutely.
There are hotlines that you can call, and I'm actually gonna put the hotline in the comments for you guys. But there's actually numbers that you can call, is confidential, where you can let people know that is happening to you. It doesn't matter what age you are, because the thing about it is that it actually impacts you for the rest of your life, because there's still things that Donnie is my closest friend, so Donnie knows a lot of stuff. But there's still things that I struggle with as a female, as an adult female, because of what happened to me during that time period that I've had to work on. And so the number is 1-888-373-7888, 1-888-373-7888. And I'm going to put it in the thank you.
That's the national sex?
National. Wait a minute, hold on, guys. National Sex Offender Line.
Yeah,
right.
And
you can. I'm sorry. Or you can call Homeland Security 311-211 or 911, and they can ping your phone and find your location. Bam, just like that. So I want to say this to all you perverts and rapists and sex traffickers: we are on you. We're on you. We're coming for you. You can't escape us. Sarah, go ahead and say what you got to say. I think you're looking at me.
Okay.
I know that look, Aunt Sarah.
I'm good. I'm just listening.
Okay.
So everybody, please make sure that you I'm going to the parents first. Make sure that you have these conversations with your children, whether anything is happening or not. It should always be a conversation so you understand what's going on in their life, what's going on around them. If you feel like they're acting strange or they're doing something strange or they were normally talkative but now they're quiet, you need to ask questions. You need to have some conversations. And I really believe that's what's missing in this day, we don't have those conversations. You know, people don't have conversations with their kids. You texting, you know, all that. Stop texting.
They don't forget how to have conversations.
Right. Sit down and have conversations with your children to find out about their day, even with COVID going on.
Right.
Find out about their day, find out about what they're thinking, and make sure you let them know that this is a safe space. They can come to you and they can share with you whatever it is. And that's one thing my parents did. I always knew I had a safe space to go and talk to them about whatever. And so you always want to provide that safe space, because this whole thing with human trafficking, sex trafficking, incest, molestation, rape, it is real. It's been real since the beginning of time. You know, so this ain't nothing new. But we growing up, we couldn't even talk about it, you know. But now we can have these conversations where we can come on something like this and we can actually be open and talk about it. So y'all, it's very serious. Thank you for coming on.
One more thing.
You told me you was finished.
No, one more thing. One more thing. You guys, I respect Tyler Perry. You know why? Because he have a show that came out called Ruthless. Watch it on BET, and you can answer any of your questions.
Yeah, I watched it.
That's all I need to say.
I've never seen that.
That's a good
show. Also, out there to all you young ladies that's missing, we're gonna come get you. We're gonna come get you. We're gonna try.
What you didn't say a lot tonight, you didn't say a lot about the violence. I wish we had
about domestic.
Domestic violence.
Let me get out there with that. Listen.
You don't have enough.
Okay, I'll deal with you tomorrow. Call me on the number.
Send us the link. Okay.
Send us the link.
So look. Now let me say, Doc Wendell show comes on tomorrow on this platform, everybody, every Wednesday at 12 noon. He gives out some great information. So if you want to really get some, I mean, he talks about everything. And you're able to call in and you're able to comment. So for anybody who's out there, and you don't have to like tune in at 12, because I know people are working. A lot of people look at stuff like after we're going off. So, you know, it's on his stuff. He got stuff, videos on our page since he's been with the station. So make sure you check his show out. But he has a wealth of information, powerful information. So he's helped me through a lot of stuff, you know, on my journey. So make sure you check his show out. I want to say this too before we go, everybody. So we have these What Up Baltimore magazines. Let me put it this way. All right. So we got the What Up Baltimore magazines. These magazines are about ordinary people who are doing extraordinary things. Okay. And you really don't have to be from Baltimore, but we do want to try to keep it local. So if you would, I would like for you to support us. And what I would say is people are supporting because as soon as they come out, they're gone. So thank you so much. But this is the January edition. This is the first one that came out. We got our February edition where I interviewed the mayor. We got him on here. And this is our Black History edition. So we got that. This is our women's edition, and we have, for those of you who live in Baltimore, Christina Flowers. We chose her as our Woman of the Year for all of the stuff that she's doing for the homeless. Y'all, if you don't live in Baltimore, I know a lot of you don't. You can Google Christina Flowers, and you'll be able to see all the stuff that she's doing. So we put her on the cover. She was deserving of being on the cover.
No more homeless people.
And
under the bridge.
They're gone.
They're gone.
Yeah, this is like
they got their home.
Yes.
We were able, you know, when anytime Christina Flowers calls me, and she calls me her advisor. So when she calls me and say, Miss Bazemore, I need your help. I know you know all the media. I immediately hold press conferences. So you may see me and her a lot on all the networks because we have to keep the issues of our city in the forefront. And through us being able to keep that in the forefront, citizens, we developed and came together, Christine and I, and formed a movement called the voice of the citizens.
Mhm.
We had several sponsors at that event. Lady Di was at the event. We visited 6 pillars of our government. And that movement is further advancing. There's a lot of great things just coming out of the movement. Another thing that happened, it got people to participate. People that watched it on the news conferences on Fox 45 begin to call and begin to come down to the encampment. So great news. We had a celebration follow-up about 2 Mondays ago that Fox 45 and Channel 2 and WJZ and WBAL covered, because we were able to have someone that came out, Angel, and ended up housing permanently 55 encampment dwellers. 55 encampment dwellers, and they're now receiving wraparound services. So we can be that voice. We really can be that voice and do some great things to get on top of the issues in our city of Baltimore.
And that's how it really get started, even with something like this, because you have the conversations.
That's
people
it.
Together, and you get out there and get started. So stop waiting for your legislators and all these people to do it, because it's something that we can do. We can actually do this. And I want to tell y'all this, because a lot of people don't know this, but see, I'm a boxing fan. For those.
Oh Lord, here she goes. I was wondering. I
love boxing. Right. I used to get punishment, for sneaking to watch the shows. Right, when I was a kid. Her husband is Kenny Bazemore, so he's a living legend because he's a professional boxer. So for those of you who used to watch boxing, that was her husband. That's her husband, Kenny Bazemore,
the technician.
Go Google him. So he's going to be in our June edition of the magazine, because we want to honor him as a living legend. And of course, I'm a little biased. And so, we're going to put him in the magazine, try to get him into the Hall of Fame. But that's what these magazines are about. It's about our people. And it's about, we don't always see the good things that our people are doing in these regular magazines. So I got my own. What Up Baltimore magazine.
That's it.
And so thank you to everybody who, I'm telling you, soon as they come out, they are gone.
They're gone.
Thank you so very much. I appreciate it. And we only on like the 4th edition of the magazine. And make sure you get that one, because as I said, it's going to be all about our Black men. So you will never see Lady J putting our Black men down. I argue with you, but that ain't what happened. So that whole magazine is all
that June
about
issue.
The June issue.
That's wonderful.
It's all about our Black men, and one of our hosts every month we devote a page to our host. So Kevin Carey, who is a retired military veteran, he's the featured host. That's going to be a magazine for June. So the June edition, everybody, is going to be out the first week of June. It's being done right now as we speak. It's being worked on. It's about to go to print. I'm excited about it. I've already seen some of the pages. So listen, make sure when it comes out that you get it.
Get your order fast. I'm telling you, the things are gone. It's like doing the Prince or my girl. What's my girl's name? Or one of the, like, Patty LaBelle, where the concert tickets are sold out in the first 2 hours. So make sure that you go online, tell them the information.
Now, what you can do, you can actually go to my website. It's ladyjmedia.com. They were selling so fast, I was actually like meeting people, but it was overwhelming. So I put it on the website. You can now subscribe to the magazine. Thank you to those who are subscribing. Thank you. For those who still need me to mail them or drop them off, we still do that. Now I have somebody who will drop them off at your door. So, because we want to get these in your hands, and we want to celebrate us. We want to celebrate our community. When we get her husband in the magazine, the next thing is to try to get him into the Hall of Fame. So
we had a couple of people to call already.
Right. We want to keep going with these magazines, and we want to make sure if you want to be in the magazine, that's another thing. If you want to be in the magazine, that number that's on the screen, call that number. That's me. That's my number directly. You can call me. We can set it up. It's not a whole bunch you got to do. We just sit down and we interview you. We take some pictures and boom, in the magazine. So that's all I want to say about these. Okay. They're $10 a piece. And
we also like to thank the therapist from Back's Mental Health Services.
Yes.
Thank you for the work that you're doing as well.
Thank you, Sarah.
We really appreciate you. We already know that you are with our friend Angela on her journey.
Aunt Sarah!
So we appreciate your services.
I just appreciate therapists anyway, because I think they're such great people because they just know how to get into your mind and just help you to think and bring it all out. And nothing, again, in closing, I want to say this. If you need to see a therapist, go see one. Okay? Don't go to your friend to try to get therapy. Right. Sometimes you got to take that step further and you have to go to therapy. You have to get help. There's nothing wrong with it. I check in every Thursday, y'all, because of what I've been through. So every Thursday, I see my therapist, and I ain't no shame in it. And it has helped me so much to get to where I'm going right now. And I'm really excited. So I encourage you to not be ashamed, to not be afraid. Again, Zalika Bazemore, I'm sure would not mind if you contacted her and said, hey, I want to talk to somebody about, because I'm embarrassed about going to a therapist.
You can call me anytime. You know, Angela started calling me,
right,
and I let her bounce things off in the mornings when she needs to.
Yeah.
You know, God just kind of made me like that.
Yeah.
Okay, so and you know, I think me being a promoter for 32 years and being around the world and seeing a lot of situations, meeting a lot of people. God giving me that spirit and that person that's so full of love and sharing, where I can listen and take it in. And sometimes that's what all they need is someone to listen to them, bounce it off. Okay.
So we're going to have our next What Up Baltimore show. It's going to be interesting. I'm actually working on a show about the church. Why is the church closed?
Wow, yes, that's a good question.
Can somebody help me understand? I made a post about that. Like we're now, and this was even when
Christopher Anderson on for that.
Oh yeah, when COVID was even at its highest heights, people were still traveling. They're still going to the store. They're at the mall. You know, the nail shops open. Everybody's back at the nail shops. And we're going to all these different places, but we cannot seem to get the doors of the church open. Right. So we're going to have the conversation next Tuesday night. Maybe some pastors are out there. You might want to help me. Shout out to the pastors who have opened their doors. You know,
yeah, absolutely.
I'm just trying to figure out why the doors of the church are still closed. So, Donnie, I know me and you have had this conversation. So if you're available next Tuesday, I need you to come on, because I'm telling you, like I've been holding off on this topic, but now it's summertime.
Absolutely,
you know it's coming into summer and the doors are still closed, but we're going everywhere else. And now that I'm seeing pastors traveling as well, I just want to know why you're not opening the church. Right. That's all. That's just my question. So if y'all can figure that out between now and next Tuesday at 8:00, I would appreciate that, because that's what the conversation will be about.
A lot of people are asking that question, so I'm glad you're going to be holding that
Please open.
I want to hear what you got to say, Don.
Before you go, Donnie, can you just give us some words of wisdom before you go regarding sex trafficking? Then I want to ask Sarah to give us some words of wisdom or whatever you want to say about it, and then we're going to close out.
The only word that I have is that get close to your children. Get close to your children. What happened to the days that gave a curfew? Be home by a certain time, by dark, before dark. These kids are not going missing, and the parents don't look for them for 3 days. What's up with that?
You're right.
How is your 13-year-old right over her girlfriend's house, and you don't know the girlfriend? You don't know the other families.
Right.
I wonder sometimes if we're not doing more harm to ourselves than we are in helping the children.
Right.
We don't have relationships with our children.
Absolutely.
We try to be their friend. We try to be their not. You ain't none of that. You're a parent.
You're the parent.
Mm-hmm.
I was just telling someone that.
If your daughter,
No, and your mother.
if your daughter is showing signs, do you know your daughter well enough to know when she starts having sex?
Right.
Can you
Have that conversation with my children.
tell
Abs-
when your son has been taken care of? Oh, understand. It's all in relationship.
Absolutely.
Don't have a relationship, you barking up the wrong tree anyway.
Yes.
Mm. Thank you so much, Sarah. Do you get some words from you before we go?
I just want to piggyback on that. And in addition to talking with your kids, make sure you know what they're doing as far as social media and their phones. Don't be afraid to take that phone and go through it. Don't be afraid to use that iPhone and set up that family sharing so that you can see what's going on. That you have to grant permission for them to have access to certain apps, and you can set it so that they can't access it at certain times.
That's Aunt Sarah.
So I agree. I just think, it's different than when we were growing up and we'd play outside for hours and hours and hours until the street lights came on. Kids are out there beyond, when the street lights come on, and it's our responsibility to make sure that we know what they're doing, not just in, where they are in the neighborhood, but also what they're doing, in this day of technology where your phone is your video camera, your regular camera, your computer, your phone, your text messenger. It's your everything.
Yeah. Thank you for that.
Thank you so much. Did you say something, Donnie?
Good show. Good show.
Oh, thank you. And everybody, make sure you check out again. His show is called Mental Wellness Coaching with Dee Wendell. It's tomorrow at 12 noon. Make sure you tune in on Lady J Media Station.
Absolutely.
Thank you, Zalika Bazemore, for coming. Thank you, Miss Angela, for coming out. And y'all have a great night. Have a good night. Continue to tune in the rest of the week. We got shows. We got so much stuff going on. Show after show. We got 3 new shows that started this week. So make sure you tune in and check out the shows. Every night we start around 5 o'clock. But Donnie's our 12 o'clock show tomorrow. Tomorrow's a busy day. So y'all, thank you so much, Angela. Don't forget to tune in.
Okay, one thing, Doc. I'm gonna be on 11:45, and I want my donation.
She want her donation.
$1 Big Angel 12.
So thank you also.
I'm getting the number. Vote.
Z-Bay behind the scene fans, thank you also for tuning in to What's Up Baltimore.
What's Up Baltimore?
Lady J and the guests and us, the discussion about sex trafficking. We'll see you soon. You guys remember to be that voice of reason to your children. And